Just your head, and it hurts, and it hurts. Back in your face. No, yeah, you gave me what I'm good for your soul. I'm being love your sin. And the boys get under your skin. Hello, hello, everybody! How is it going? Lone Wolf here, and welcome back to the Doggy Zone! Alright, enough about this. Yes, I'm obsessed with this freaking thing now. I mean, the soundtrack's good. Seriously. Not gonna lie. Go see the movie, list, and get the soundtrack. It is peak. I mean, seriously. It's really good. Anyway, we are back with the Little Chaos Gremlins crew who are gonna go and do something completely very naughty. I don't wanna. I feel. Whoops, that's the wrong folder. I'm an idiot. Alright, where is it? Yes, I have a bunch of games here from Itch. We're not getting to that anytime soon. Maybe. Maybe that. Where is it? Siren Zero. Oh, yeah. That's something for another day. Now, let's get into it. Yeah, that'll be something for another day and such. And also, if you hear some weird noise in the background, that is basically... Let me get this. Hold on. There we go. Okay. That is basically my fan in the background because it is still fucking hot as hell. I am not joking. It is still hot and, Oh, hello, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Then Warif? Who the fuck are you? Nothing of any concern, and possibly not something that's not good. So, you know what? Banned. You're banned. Now then, where were we last time? It's been a week. It's been like what, a week? My memory's garbage. So let's see. Oh yeah, I had 2 save files because I wanted to keep. Wait, why did I do two save files? I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Ah, here we go. There we go. No, I just remembered. Cole says, let's go bully a peacock. I don't want to bully the peacock. I already can tell he's a precious bean. He's a precious, anxiety-ridden bean. Anyway, Artemi's eyes grew wide as their group approached the gates of the royal palace. Oh, well, quick, okay. Thankfully I have my tea nearby, but it's hot as fuck. So this is the home of the royal family. You can see the tower looming in the horizon across Axia, but it feels so different up close. Imagine how different things would be if you managed to find this place on your own a few days ago. Artemi let out an offended gasp. How rude! It was my first time venturing out in the city, and I couldn't find my way around the moat surrounding the castle. Anyone could have made such a mistake. Doesn't Axia's main cobblestone street lead straight to the castle? It's got flags with the royal family's crest and everything. I'll have you know, I followed precisely that street on my first mission, but it took me nowhere near the palace. Cole squinted. You went the wrong way. Oh, poor Artemi. There were no signs. I simply went in the direction that made the most sense. away from the big castle tower on the horizon? I was distracted. Cole sighed and patted Artemi on the back sympathetically, and then rubbed his temples. Well, at least you ended up safely in jail where we could find you. Thank goodness you suck at directions. Oh God, Cole. Artemi's face clouded with the grief-stricken look of a kicked puppy. She gingerly tugged at Sid's sleeve. Sir Sid, surely you don't agree with this? Well, honestly, I'm kinda glad you suck since that's the reason we met. Such brutal words from my dearest friend. Know that you wounded me deeply. Wait, I mean that in a good way! Oh. I'm afraid you've lost high-five privileges for the foreseeable future. That's kind of devastating. Whoa, she's learned to clap back. Cole blinked as their group crossed the narrow road leading to the castle gates. Rows of guards were stationed at the entrance, but one familiar knight towered over the rest. Is it Grank? A worried frown filled Cole's face as he elbowed Artemi urgently. Yes, it is. Hey, Artie. Just a heads up, but your knight commander's here. I knew it. Artemi immediately stiffened. Sir Grank? Here? You alright? You don't have to talk to him if you don't want to. I could probably pull some strings and get past him unnoticed. As you know, I'm incredibly skilled at avoiding conversations. Well, no shit, you little turd. You're skilled at avoiding responsibilities. That's what you're fucking good at, you little twink. Artemi shot him a grateful look, but firmly shook her head. No, but thank you for the thought. I will have to speak with him eventually. It would be best if I face things now, instead of letting it fester. Ah, that's a good tip right there. Take care of it now rather than later. Oh, good. I like you, I still love you more, Artie. Cole felt his stomach twist with loose glass. The ease with which Artemi stepped forward in spite of the torment on her face. It shouldn't kill him inside the way it did. He should be proud. Happy for her, even. Shouldn't he? For a split second, Cole hoped that she would fail and knew he truly was the worst person in the world. Oblivious to the storm of self-loathing boiling inside him, Artemi sucked in a deep breath and stepped forward toward the castle's front gates. She stood tall and rigid, the picture of professionalism, but she couldn't quite bring herself to look Grank in the eyes. Greetings, Knight Commander. It is a surprise to see you here. Pillar's brow rose with surprise at the sight of her before quickly melting into a warm smile. Artemi found herself unable to smile back. The old bear did not comment on it, but the hurt in his voice was obvious. Oh, it's very well said. Oh, Artemi, dear girl, it's good to see you up and about after last night's, debacle. Have you been well? Artemi bowed stiffly. I am faring well, yes. I come here today to continue my investigation of the missing rubies. Might I ask why you are here at the Royal Palace? I've always worked closely with the royal family whenever they sought security, particularly Prince Cassius. With the recent demon attack, they have called upon my service once more. I see. The two of them stood awkwardly at the front gates, unsure of what to say. Oh, you poor thing! Sorry, Artemi! Oh, why? Artemi fixed her gaze firmly on the ground at her feet. She could feel the commander peer at her pleadingly, desperate for a sign of something. Like maybe, not an apology, no, more like you better have an understanding of what is going on. Katrina, your mother is a bitch. Grank is like trying to help you and such and give you support, while she's trying to put you down and be a total bitch towards you and almost trying to kill you, Artemi. Mother of the year, I tell ya. Mother of the fucking year, Katrina. Fucking bitch. Why did I go on a rant about that? Oh my god. Oh, that's horrible of me. Forgiveness? Assurance that they were still on good terms? Yes. She couldn't quite say, and she was unsure if she was capable of giving such an answer at the moment. Well, maybe think it over first, you little turd. The seconds ticked by, and Artemi prayed to the Creator that the ground beneath her would open up and swallow her whole. Anything to break the awkwardness of this exchange. Oh, for fuck's sake! What do you want? Apparently, the Creator was feeling hilarious today because Collodi suddenly strutted past her and let out a low whistle. Hey there, hot stuff. I heard through the grapevine that you were asking where my favorite bar was. Did something catch your interest? Oh, if it is Artemi's flattering friend. I was simply pondering on where the fun spots were in Axia as of late. I'm afraid I've been quite out of the loop. Tavern folks tend to run when they see a church knight in full armor march into their establishment. If it's fun you're looking for, hit me up. I'm pretty confident I can show you where you can find it. Ow! Fuck! Artemi, it's rather rude to hurl someone across the courtyard mid-conversation. My deepest apologies. I don't know what came over me. Oh, that is perfect. I had to go back just to watch that. I can show you where you find it. Ah! Oh, that... Artemi, my god. But, sir, if you insist on becoming acquainted with my new companions, I must insist you avoid that one. And why is that? Young Bonebreaker seems to be such a charming young gentleman. Excuse me? Cole? Gentleman? I don't know about that. Oh. You mustn't be fooled, sir. Sir, Collodi Bonebreaker is a terrible influence. You must resist his temptations. Temptations Ballad. That's the name of the game. Oh! Why don't you talk to my good friend, Lady Osmia? She is much nicer and less prone to terrible life decisions. Ever the lady, Maeve curtsied politely. Greetings. I am Maeve Osmia, at your service. The amused grin spread across Grank's face as he gave her a firm handshake. You must be the delightful little lass who's been running the Firefly Festival and stepping on all those nimble toes. I admire your gumption. House Osmia has done great work in feeding the hungry of this great city. I've worked with some of your druids before, but they are a wonderful bunch. Maeve raised an eyebrow. I am surprised that the Knight Commander of the church would think so, given the druid's history with your church. Oh god, why? Grank sighed and waved a hand dismissively. The upper clergyman would probably make a big stink about it while waving their big book about, but my roots lie in the streets of this city. From where I stand, the fewer starving children, the better. Maeve bowed again, a small smile peeking out from behind her veil. Your words honor me. Gautier's open-mindedness surprised me when we first met. Clearly, she had an excellent teacher. Artemi could see Grank's chest swell up with pride. I'm glad to hear my pupil is making a good impression out there. Grank's face brightened as he caught sight of Calder huddling behind Sid's tall frame. Ah, and you're the gentleman that my dear Artemi flattened into a fine paste in the joust yesterday. Good to see you standing, lad. Oh no! It's my favorite thick-thighed wizard! Calder spluttered indignantly from behind Six's bulk. That match was clearly rigged, and you know it. Something shouldn't be allowed in a competitive setting. Had it been a fair match, I would have easily snatched victory from your cheating grip. Oh, I am happy to arrange a rematch. That shan't be necessary. Such an ill-elegant sport is beneath my station anyhow. And it is a sport that my favorite pupil absolutely crushed on her first attempt. I never imagined she'd be taking the field a mere day after stepping out into the world. You have my thanks for being the stepping stone for her victory, lad. Every passing minute, another shred of dignity is snatched from my cold, dead hands. I am surprised you have any dignity left to lose. Hardy, come on, you promised. I apologize for my crude remark. It was unbecoming of me. Calder scoffed and turned his nose upward. It seems your Knight Commander spent too much time teaching you to cheat at sports, and not at all on the basic manners. Watch your tongue. I will not stand for any defamation of the Commander's character. Oh, he hardly needs my help on that front. Have you not heard the rumors? They are stilled. Reality came rushing back to Artemi like a flood, washing away what hearty banter they had and unearthing only cold tension. Wow! Sid glanced frantically between them and tugged on Calder's sleeve, dragging a hyena away from the barrel of snakes he had unknowingly knocked over. Okay, why don't we go check on Cole? I think he landed somewhere over that ledge. What's the rush? I'm sure this little fraud's thick skull is intact. Miss Osmia, you can heal, right? Can you come along too? As you wish. Calder, you little shit. The heirs awkwardly shuffled out of earshot, leaving Artemi and Grank alone to their own devices. Artemi cleared her throat loudly, wheeling away the encroaching silence. Like how I have to keep myself hydrated from the silence. For what it's worth, I think you have a wonderful manner, sir. Ha! I've never been concerned with appearances, but thank you. The old bear peered at Artemi carefully. Very little ever perturbed the commander, but his fidgeting gloves betray a sliver of insecurity, in spite of his words. I understand that you're working hard to build up your own image as the creator's chosen. If you are concerned with the matters of reputation, I can refrain from publicly consorting with you, if you wish. What? No, of course not. That matters little to me. I'd rather return to how things once were. A simple teacher and pupil. Craig's eyes softened. Was that ever lost? I don't know. Artemi hung her head low. She could hear the hurt on her mentor's face, but she could not bear to meet his gaze. Everything is moving so quickly. Things that were certain mere days ago are now a blur. I'm not sure what to think. Do you regret it? Stepping out into the world beyond the walls of the church district? The commander's voice fell into almost nervous mumble. Do you resent me for sending you out on this mission? Artemi looked up sharply. No, of course not. There have been hardships, yes, but joy too. I have found people outside the cathedral's walls that mean the world to me, and I wouldn't give them up for anything. And she bit her lip and their eyes finally met. They both froze, uncertainty hanging in the air. Artemi stared into a nervous look on her commander's face for several long moments before finally giving Grank a brief smile. Given the option, I wouldn't want to give up on my dear Knight Commander either. Old Bear's face went through a cascade of emotions before settling into something so tender that it hurt to look at. Artemi suddenly felt a hot flash of shame for putting him through such doubt. Artemi, I wouldn't want to lose you either. I'm sorry again for keeping such secrets from you. The man that I was, the Pale Butcher, I did what was necessary to survive, but it brought with me a lifetime of shame. That is not the man you are now, sir. I am speaking to Grank Stormborn, the man who trained me and taught me all I know. He is also the man who sent me down the path where I found my closest friends. Perhaps I don't know him as well as I thought, but that needn't be a frightening thing. For either of us. A warm smile spread across Grank's face. I would like nothing more to be reacquainted with my favorite pupil. You have grown quite wise during your time out in the world. Despite your rumblings, your friends seem to be a wonderful influence. Artemi can't help but chuckle. Her chest felt lighter than it had in days. They are good people. Good friends. Even that cursed Kalodi Bonebreaker. Don't tell him I said that, though. Best keep him on his toes. Greg let out a hearty laugh, and she found herself joining it. All the time spent dreading this reunion, it was nice to have her mentor back. Speaking of your friends. Artemi blinked and noticed the commander's gaze drift over her shoulder. She glanced around, and a horrific scene suddenly hit her like a mallet to the face. What? What? In the distance, near the cliffside, Cole was down on one knee before Sid? Oh no, is he gonna do what I think he is? His face was awash with theatrical zeal as he slowly slid onion ring across the badger's peak. Oh my god. To Artemi's horror and utter betrayal, Sid let out a gasp and pressed a dainty hand to his heart. Boss, this is so sudden. I'm super flattered, but think of our positions. Cole looked like he was having a stroke while he was trying to keep a straight face. Will you accept it? I do not sound like that. Sid clutched his chest, completely giving up holding back his snickers. Yes, thank you. Oh! Ow! I take back what I said. I'm afraid I have made no such friends. Oh, these little shits. Hey, Sid said you needed a distraction. We were helping. Is everything alright now? I'll keep Calder in the corner just in case. Tammy stared skyward and prayed for Career to bless her with patience and forgiveness that she did not have. What have I done to deserve this suffering? Ah, but what is friendship but mutant torment? I'm glad you are doing well, dear girl. I sure don't feel like it. Slightly singed, Cole shuffled up to them with a toothy grin. How did it go with your commander? Are you too cool again? Yes. Excellent! I knew it'd work out. That old bear always seemed the understanding type. Oh yes, and you have been so helpful. Happy to be of service. If you take this as a sign to spread your dastardly influence onto the Knight Commander, you've got another thing coming. God, she is tired of his shit. God, she's just so tired of it. Good luck catching me. I can teleport now. Oh yeah, that's right. The little fucker can teleport Misty Step. Miss Shriekward, you've doomed us all. Ah, shit. My Avery joined their little circle and cleared her throat quietly. If I may interrupt the pleasantries, we are here to seek an audience with Prince Cassius. I believe Gautier sent a raven on this matter yesterday. Ah, yes, your meeting. I'm afraid his highness is not available at the moment. The lad always has a delicate disposition, but the death of his parents and this recent demon attack have left him in quite a state. He has declined all meetings with officials and the public for the time being. What? Cole froze, his hackles rising. Wait, seriously? But the Chosen One herself wants to meet him. It's a big and important matter. I'm sure he can spare like 5 minutes to answer some questions. Frank shook his head firmly. His Highness was quite adamant. He will not be seeing anyone today. To shut himself off right after a demon attack on the city. Surely he can see that this is not a favorable impression for his constituents. Has he made any formal statement on the situation at large? I'm afraid Prince Cassius has never seen himself as a real authority figure in any way. In his eyes, the role had fallen onto his lap, and he has neither the will nor capability to fulfill it. And yet the role is his, and his alone. We would happily take our business elsewhere, but there's simply no one else to turn to. Is there any way he could be convinced otherwise? We need only a moment of his time. Mercedes shook his head. I'm afraid not. The prince is quite the nervous wreck. I intended to speak with him this morning, but it didn't go well. Cole Gray has heaped in frustration. He had anticipated that the prince might be tight-lipped, but to refuse to see them entirely? Here we go. His princeliness sure knows how to make things difficult. I'm calling bullshit on this. My bullshit senses are tingling. What is this fucker up to? Cole took several steps back, his eyes tracing over the towering visage of Castle Diluvium. Ghostly gaze. His eyes glowed as his vision expanded, piercing through the stone walls until he found what he was looking for. I see him. He's at his window watching us right now. Sure enough, poking out one of the topmost balconies of the castle town was the tiny blue head of a peacock. Oh no! Cole waved his arms wildly. Hey, your highness! Get down here! The chosen one needs your help with some shit. The church is getting me real mad if you ignore her. Little blue startled before immediately retreating. Aw, that's cute! Oh my god! The little blue head jumped, startled before immediately retreating back into his room. Oh, I love that. Your diplomacy skills are astounding. Worth a shot. At least that got his attention. And frightened him into hiding, it seems. He's scared shitless about everything. Did you see him at the festival yesterday? Agitating him further will not help matters. This is a delicate situation. Oh god. I have glared up at the balcony towering high above them. If he is adverse to conversation, perhaps we could send a letter directly to his window. He probably did not even read Gautier's original letter in the rush of yesterday's events. If he learns the gravity of our situation. Oh please, he's got every reason to refuse us. We're wasting time. I'm going up there and talk to him myself. Excuse me? You can't simply barge into the royal palace unannounced. Cole shrugged. Alright. Yo, Prince! I'm coming up! No! Oh no! Unbelievable. Oh shit. My precious bird boy! Oh! Cassius slumped down behind the thick curtains of his balcony. His chest. Oh, he knew that people would be seeking his attention after a demon attack, but he had hoped Sir Grank would keep most of them at bay. The thought of having to actually speak to someone from the outside. Cassius shivered. Not to mention, that was the career's chosen, wasn't it? She was the reservoir that Father had spoken of. He was fairly certain he was not supposed to interact with her at all. Cassius swallowed against the anxious pounding of his chest. He wished Father was here. No one ever taught him how to do anything. He wasn't ready to deal with any of this on his own. Ah! There you are. Hey, your Highness. I know you're busy hiding in your bedroom, but I need to talk to you about something. Ah! Who are you? My poor boy, no! I don't want him to get a nervous wreck. Who are you? Cassius fell backwards. Oh no. You shouldn't be here. This is the royal bedchamber. Oh, perfect. I've done excellent work in a lot of bedchamber. Cole, just need a moment of your time. Won't be a bother at all. My issues are just a simple matter of life and death. That doesn't make it any less stressful. But please leave. There are officials who can help you with your grievances. No. We need the help of the prince himself. The creator shows on counting you to save the day and all that good jazz. You're not gonna say no to divine providence, are you? If the chosen one is relying on my help of all people, then the world may well and truly be doomed. She probably wouldn't like me very much. I hate to disappoint her. Diana blinked before glancing over his shoulder over the edge of the balcony with a wistful smirk. As the prime expert on disappointing the chosen one, I can safely say that you're fine. It's bullshit. Her Timmy would love you. You're so cute. He gestured vaguely. Messy and uptight and a nervous wreck. Call you jerk. You two would get along like two anxious peas and God damn it, Cole. Cassius spluttered, his feathers puffing out digital. That's hardly flattering. Either of us. Diana shrugged. I'm not the flattering sort of guy. Just being real with ya. What? Do you think the chosen one is some big, scary warrior? First time I met her, she was having a panic attack on the floor of a jail cell. He snorted. Diana leaned over the balcony railing, quickly drinking in the sight of the city below. She was actually supposed to deliver that fancy crown to you that day. Obviously, that didn't work out, and things have kind of gone downhill from there. Artie's been beating herself up ever since. Cassius stiffened, his eyes flickering towards the drawer where the obsidian crown lay hidden. He hesitantly stepped forward and joined the short man on the balcony. His gaze trailed downward, where the tiny figures of Artemi Gautier and her friends stood at the castle gates. In the distance, Artemi noticed they're staring and frantically fumbled a strange mix between a salute and bow. She does seem the nervous sort, doesn't she? Still, I can't imagine she'd be happy to see me in this state. What? Like you haven't left your bed in weeks? Happens to the best of us. She won't judge. Even if she does, what's she gonna do about it? You're the goddamn Prince of Exia. Cassius shot Diana with a sheepish look. Well, one does prefer to be in the good graces of the divine savior of the world. I regret to inform you that your great holy savior is a massive doofus. I mean, just look at her. What are you afraid of? Artemi jumped with a start and elbowed Sid nervously. Sir Sid, look! It's His Highness. Oh, how should we conduct ourselves? I've never met with royalty before. You're asking me? I'm just a regular old commoner. Only times I've only ever seen the king and queen were during big parades. That is still more than I ever have. What is the customary method of greeting them? Is there anything special we must do? Sid scratched his head and shrugged. I don't know. You just kind of bow and wave. You know, just show respect and all that. Show respect? Why, yes, of course. How silly of me. Oh, no. No! Bad! Bad, Artemi! No! Oh, no! Oh, you... Oh my god, that's a perfect screenshot. No! Artemi! What are you doing? Is something wrong? She is just fucking... This is a sign of great respect, is it not? You explained it as such yesterday. I'm glad our family found the opportunity to use it. Sid stood aghast as Artemi smiled brightly. Her tail wagging furiously, she waved her middle finger high in the air in hopes of catch. Oh, god damn it. Should he correct her? But if she found out right after flipping off the royal planet, she'd absolutely kill him. Maybe he should just start running for the hills and begin a life of solitude and isolation instead. Oh, sweet lord. She'll learn the truth from somebody eventually. Sid's heart jumped to his throat as he spotted Lady Osmia approaching them with a raised brow. Oh no! This is not going well! And Calendar's just like, what? He's like, you dumbass! Lady Osmia, look! It seems Cole's succeeding in grabbing His Highness's attention. Worry not. I've done my utmost to show the prince the respect he deserves. Bold. I'm impressed with your honesty, Gautier. You didn't seem the type. Behind her, Calder watched the whole exchange with a confused frown. Noble glanced and said inquisitively, Is she not aware? Sid grabbed Diana by the shoulder and shook his head furiously. Calder stared at the storm of desperation and panic on his face before slowly nodding. Huh. Meanwhile, Prince Cassius was having an episode of his own as he let a horrified gasp and clutched. You poor thing! No! Oh no! The career's chosen, she'll flip me off! I knew she hated me on sight, but I never imagined to this degree. Oh, forget about that. This actually means she likes you, funnily enough. Do not lie to me! I may be experienced, but I was not born yesterday. Nah, I'm being serious. Surprisingly. You should flip her right back. She'll get a real kick out of it. Absolutely not. Good princes don't flip off his subjects. Oh my god! Look at Cassius, I love you! You precious bean! Oh, god damn it! I love him! Oh, you poor thing! I just want to fucking hug him! Cassius ducked behind the balcony, his back sliding down at the wall as he rasped through his pounding heartbeat, not heartbeat. Then again, I am not much of a good prince. Even the creator's chosen something right through me. I'm pretty sure she thinks you're a pretty cool dude. She'd probably tell you herself if you actually talk to her. Cassius incredulous. You're a terrible liar, sir. I will not be throwing myself into a meeting with someone who clearly despises me. Take your business elsewhere. Whatever you need. I'm certain my officials will serve you better than a disaster like me. Dude, have you seen the bureaucracy in your city? It takes like 3 business years for anything to get done. Cassie's shoulders slumped. I have not seen much in the city at all. Yesterday was my first time conducting duties outside the royal palace walls. And you saw how well that went. Whatever it is you're looking for, I'm certain you will find greater success with someone else. A strange look flickered across the mood hanging in his face. Cassius shuffled uncomfortably under his gaze. After a moment, the short-hanging let out a sigh and plopped down on the floor to sit next to him. Buddies! Maybe. Hey, you doing okay? Huh? What do you mean? Aina grinned sheepishly, vaguely gestured at all of him. I mean, your mom and pops just died. And you got a big city waiting for you to take the reins. And then a demon blew up one of your streets yesterday. So folks are probably hassling you for an answer. That's a lot to deal with in just a few weeks. So, you alright? Cassius stared at the other man, suddenly feeling a little lost. I'm not sure. Like you've said, it's been a lot. Cassius sighed and stared up at the ceiling. Mother's health had been declining for a long time, so it was expected. Father was beside himself with grief. And then they were gone. Both of them. It was unexpected, but now I'm on my own. Sir Greg has often visited to check up on me, but Cassius glanced down the hanging strangely. No one else has asked me how I was doing. I'm not sure how to answer. His face brightened. Oh, are you close with the hot bear knight? He seems like a good guy. If you need to vent, he'll probably let you talk his ear off. Memories this morning flashed in his mind, and a pang of guilt sliced through his chest. Sir Greg and I have a strange working relationship. I think it's best that we speak to each other as little as possible. Yeesh, so you got no one? You're the prince. It shouldn't be this hard to find someone to shoot the shit with. Many people have sought my attention, armed with honeyed words and ulterior motives. Not unlike you. Aina laughed and held up his hands. Guilty as charged. I still need your help with something, but you'd have to be pretty heartless to see a guy breaking down on his bedroom floor and not feel for him a little. Cassius smiled slightly. As rude as Aina has been, barging in his room and making demands, at least he was easy to talk to. He's got some points. Tell me, what is your name? Oh, I'm Cole. Colody Bonebreaker, if you're gonna be fancy about it. Nice to meet you, your princeliness. Cole hopped to his feet and bowed dramatically. Oh, you dramatic little shit. Cassius stiffened and laughed. Form bowing did not look natural in this short, loincloth. It did, yeah, it's not right. I am Cassius Diluvium. It's a pleasure meeting you too. I like your nickname. Oh, Cole? Yeah, Colody is a bit of a mouthful. Love my papa, but good names aren't exactly his strong suit. Diana scowled and quickly mumbled Bonebreaker under his breath. It's nice. I hardly hear my own name these days. It's mostly my lord this or your highness that. And everyone is usually so uptight and business-minded. You can hardly hold a conversation with them. With anyone. Cole smirked. What, you want a nickname too? I'm trying to imagine a city official walking up to the throne room and going, Yo, Cass, I need you to sign some papers. Cassius felt a small tug at his lips. That's honestly preferable. At least I know they still see a person under all this royal plumage. You know you're in charge now, right? Or is my bullshit senses tingling? You can either go up to your lawmakers and go, Yo, I want everyone to call me Cass now. Anyone who does RA shall be sentenced to 50 years of latrine cleaning duty. Latrine clean? What the fuck is latrine cleaning duty? Hold on. Just for shits and giggles. Latrine cleaner. Latrine cleaning. Oh! That's what it means. Oh. Well, ain't that interesting? Apparently, it means, like, clean the toilets. Damn. 50 hours of that. I actually would not mind that because, little side thing, I actually used to work at a hotel business where I was doing most of the labor and all that, like cleaning the toilet, cleaning the bathrooms, mopping the floor, taking out the trash, all that kind of business. Oh, and vacuuming and dusting, by the way. So I was like the cleaner of the place. But yeah, 50 hours, like, in a few days, like, combined total, that's not a bad kind of punishment for me. In all honesty, I mean it. I would not mind that at all. No, sir. Cassius shook his head. I don't like Cass. People would probably mistake me for that famous buff accordion player from overseas. Oh, I get it! get it. That's a Zelda reference. Holy shit. Shiro, you genius. Oh, I love that. I love that shit. That's not a bad thing. Isn't he, like, super hot? Are we really getting into this? I mean, I prefer my casual public image, but maybe not that casual. Cole shrugged. You're lost. I think the people would dig a hot prince. What about Cassie? Cassie. Father would find the name atrocious. There was a brief silence as the unspoken thought hung in the air. Father isn't here right now. The thought struck Cassius out of his stupor. What was he doing? Sitting on the floor, casually chatting with this strange man who just barged into his room. Father would be beside himself. Cassius sucked in deep breaths. I thank you for taking the time to speak with me. But surely it's better spent achieving whatever work you need to be done. Hey, don't sell yourself short. You're decently fun to talk to. Cassius smiled, his face slightly heated. I thought you were the flattering type. Dude, you consider this flattery? We're gonna have to work on raising that bar a little. Well, in any case, what was it that you needed? You mentioned a matter of life and death earlier? I can make no promises, but I suppose I can hear you out. It's the least I can do, eh? Fuck! I just realized I'm doing a mannerism voice like Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter. I mean, this bird is Nervous Rex, so I don't mind that turned out like that. Yes. I love it. I love the bird voice. I did. Cole shot him a grateful look. Thanks, man. Cassie felt a strange warmth bubble inside himself. Nobody's shown gratitude like this before. What? Really? He scratched his head awkwardly as he shrugged to find his words. Let's see what you look like. Oh. I'm seriously jealous of this fucking drip. Where do I even start? See, I have this friend. She's kind of like you in a way. She spent her whole life cooped up in the church district until a few days ago when she got her first mission into the outside world. And this would be the creator's chosen, yes? Cole nodded grimly. Yeah, you probably heard how it went. She managed to recover that fancy crown of yours, but she lost all the rubies. Her mom, the bishop, wasn't very happy about it. But see here, the real issue is, well, we didn't put it together until yesterday, but essentially, the bishop threatened to have Artemi killed if she didn't find the missing rubies. That hardly seems fair, right? Like, I know they're really fancy bits of jewelry, but they're not worth killing your daughter over, right? Cassius felt his stomach drop, his mind wandering. There's certainly important pieces of jewelry, to say the least. Katrina Guttier would know their value. She was a close colleague of my father's. But threatened to kill the creator's chosen? That is not in line with... He quickly bit his tongue. Thankfully, the hand did not seem to understand much of his rambling, simply stared blankly. At least he hoped so. Cassius cleared himself loud. Anyway, I would love to help you, but the royal family is not supposed to interfere with the church's affairs. What? Can't you at least talk to her? You're the prince. You could easily just say, yo, murdering your daughter is bad and save my friend's life. It is not that simple. Katrina Gautier is, well, terrifying. As both a person and a negotiator. I hardly finished my speech at the tournament yesterday. You expect me to speak with the Grand Bishop herself? Cole stepped close, desperation rising in his voice. Look, man, I know it's hard, but my friend's life is on the line. And you don't need to talk if you don't want to. Just send her a letter or something. Please, I'm begging you. There's more to this than you believe. Only my father had the authority to... If there was anyone else I could turn to, I would. But your dad's not here right now, and you're the only one who can help me. That's not true. Father is still... This time, he slipped in on go unnoticed. What? Panic filled his chest. Cassius covered his beak with... Wait. No, I have said too much. You have greatly overstayed your welcome. Please leave. No, you can't just say that and... Cole let out a frustrated growl. At least help me save my friend. How about a deal? If you send a letter to the bishop, I'll keep my mouth shut. I have no idea what you're implying, but you are severely incorrect. Leave now or I will call the guards. Please, I don't care what weird plots you people have going on. Just help me keep my friend safe. I'm begging you. In his desperation, Cole reached out and grabbed his hand to prevent him from escaping. In that moment, the world suddenly slowed. Cassius felt a spark of magic flood through the contact their skin. What? A dreadfully familiar spark, like that of two same-faced magnets slowly shoving each other aside. Cole immediately recoiled and tracked his hand, confusion swimming across his face. What the hell was that? Cassius could barely hear him, clutching his own palm in dawning horror. You're the other one. The one that was stolen. What the hell are you talking about? This is all a trick, isn't it? Some sort of plot against my father? Did Enchanter Agatha put you up to this? Slow down, dude. I have no idea what you're babbling on about. Your life can't fool me. You know. You must. There's no other explanation. I have to get out of here. Father would be furious. What? Wave of arcane smoke. Missy stepped. Oh no! Oh, you're not getting away from me that easily. Uh-oh. What the hell is going on here? No, please, leave me alone. I'm not going anywhere until I know for a fact Artemia is safe. Listen, I don't care whatever's going on. I just need... Oh, come on. Well, this is somewhat that can be... Oh, God. Cassius steps through the city as fast as magic could carry him, flicking in and out of existence in flashes of smoke as he sailed across Axia. But no matter how far he ran, he could not shake Cole from his tail. Ugh. Diana seemed to have extremely sharp arcane senses, locking onto his location, Missy stepping after him without missing a beat. Exhaustion was slowly taking root as Cassius poofed into the middle of the town plaza, hunching over his knees and gasping for breath. I don't think I've ever ran this much in my life. Huh? Cassie, please, just listen for a second. I know there are a lot going on I probably don't understand, but at the end of the day, my friend's life is in danger, and, well, it's particularly my fault. Cassius couldn't hear him through the pounding of blood against his head. He needed to shake him and escape somehow. It didn't matter how. And I know you're scared, but if you could send just one little letter, it would mean the world to me. Cassius read caught in his throat as the tiniest pang of guilt gripped his chest. I know it sounds so desperate. He shook his head furiously. No. Father's instruction came before all else, and he could not fail him more than he already did. Cassius stood up straight and closed his eyes. Magic welled up deep inside him, slowly streaming through his entire body. Cole seemed to sense it immediately and took a nervous step back. Wait, what are you doing? Oh? Ooh. time. Stop. Oh, wow. What the? Zabarda. Got that screenshot. Cole stumbled on his feet. His stomach has dropped for a split second as though he had fallen from a great height. He glanced around frantically, but the prince was nowhere to be found. Did you just cast a 9th level spell to get out of a conversation? Oh. Can I find a hint? Oh, he's gone. God damn it. Cole shoulder fell as he stood silently in the street. Dread pulled inside him and gnawed painfully at his very bones. The prince was gone. His best hope of saving Artemi from his own damn mistakes was gone with him. Well, fuck. It should have only taken a few moments for Cole to misty step back to the castle entrance. He was struck with the thought of looking Artemi in the eyes and decided he could probably drag his feet a tiny bit. They were probably imagining Cole engaging in a harrowing chase across the city and were waiting for his return with the good news. It felt like the only thing he could deliver these days was disappointment. Poor guy. Cole probably would have dawdled a little longer if the image of Sid's knowing look didn't flicker across his mind like an annoying gnat. Oh, poor guy. It made his stomach gnaw painfully inside until he couldn't ignore it. With a sigh and at least 20 wasted minutes of stewing in his own misery, Cole finally stepped before Castle Diluvium's gates in a puff of smoke. He found everyone waiting for him near the entrance. Sid was currently on... Oh, God. What the fuck? Sid was currently on the ground in a field position while Tammy was chatting enthusiastically with Maeve about the versatility of hand gestures. Cutler just looked confused about the social customs of knights, but he kept his mouth shut. Wow, I swear to God, these guys have got to get fucking together in a group. We already got Sid. We already got Cole. We already got Artie. Now we just need in the group of misfits here, Calder and Cassius. All 5 of these are a group of misfits that need to be together as friends and have fun. I shit you not. Seriously, 5 group of misfits need to come together. Oh, wait. Cassius was saying something about his father, though. Did his father fake his death, and is he still alive? And this is some kind of a plot to... Oh... I bet his father is still alive, and Cassius is in on it. Oh. I don't know. I don't want that to happen. I love Bird Boy. I don't want him to turn to be a goddamn villain in this. That would suck. Because seriously, he is a goddamn nervous wreck, and I doubt he is. But still, there's some weird shit going on here, and I'm curious about it. Right. Hey man, what did I miss? I fucked up! Huh? Was it that bad? Boss, I fucked up so hard. Or tell me still thinks flipping people off is like a casual salute or something. Half the guards in the courtyard think the creator's chosen as a massive dick. And she flipped up the goddamn Prince of Axia. What do I do? Well, I remember once a wise man telling me people deserve to know the truth and all that good shit. Don't use my words against me! Not so easy when you're on the receiving end, huh? If it makes you feel any better, I don't think the prince is calling for Artie's head right now. He's too busy fleeing to the other end of the city. Too bad Artie's gonna smite me into dust if she ever finds out. Do you have any better ideas on how I can, like, gently break the news to her? You're asking me? Dude, I can barely deal with my own fuck-ups. If she starts coming for us, you can probably just throw me to the wolves. Out of the 2 of us, I deserve the bigger thrashing. Sid finally lit his head with a frown. Don't say it like that. You know it's true. Oh god. I tell this time spotted him and waved, cheerfully thrusting her milk. For fuck's sake. For a split second, Cole thought the night had finally caught on to him and made her feelings known. His heart jumped in his throat before he got hold of himself. Of course not. Artemia haven't found out yet. And whose fault is that? Shaking himself out of his stupor, Cole formed a smirk and responded with a finger flip of his own. Kelly grinned proudly like a child who successfully retold a well-received joke. Oh my god! Dude, don't encourage her! I don't know, man. Maybe if we keep this up, we could start a new trend. A career blessing from the Chosen One. Or some shit like that. I can't see a world where that possibly goes well. Oh no. Cole, I see you returned from your negotiations without being forcibly removed by the castle guards. Might we expect some modicum of success? The amusement is just deflated as Cole scratched his head awkwardly, unable to meet her gaze. Oh no. Well, you know me. I always deliver. It's usually disappointment, but boy do I deliver. Is this due to your own negotiations or from our good Chosen's bold display? Oh, did I actually slip a fake pause during our exchange? My deepest apologies. I am still getting accustomed to all these strange gestures. No, I admire your honesty, Gautier. I've wanted to see someone speak plainly to the royal family for years. Sid glanced over to the cliffside and looked like he was considering throwing himself off the edge. In any case, barging straight into the prince's throne room was a risky move, and dare I say, unwise. Did your efforts bear any fruit? Kinda? He just came across as a nervous guy who was not at all ready to be a prince. I played the nice guy card and got him to loosen up a bit. Cole scratched his chin thoughtfully. When I poked him about the details of Artemi's mission, he let slip something interesting. He said that the bishop was a close colleague to the king, and, well... Cole glanced at Artemi with a worried frown. Well, it sounded like your mom knows about whatever weird shit is happening involving those rubies. What? Are you accusing her excessively of being involved in some great conspiracy? That is nonsense. My mother may not be a gentle soul, but she is she is a good and pious person. Cole, surely you have misheard. Cole shrugged. I'm just telling you what he said. Prince Cassius kind of babbles a lot when he's nervous, so it's hard to be sure. It gets worse, too. I asked him about his father, and, Cole hesitated and bit his lip. For a split second, Cassius almost sounded like he thought his dad was still alive. Everyone stared at him, dumbfounded. That's impossible. The king and queen had a public open casket funeral several weeks ago. Half the city saw it with their own eyes. They are most certainly dead. Yeah, but after that little slip, Cassius started freaking out and ran off like his life depended on it. And when I chased him, he fucking cast Time Stop just to get away from me. That's pretty damn suspicious, all things considered. My eyes narrowed. The fact that you're able to share this information means that it is not protected by this hypothetical anti-memtic spell. These are all just suspicions and theories that you've interpreted from his words, yes? He didn't come across and say, King Roderick is still alive? Well, obviously not. Then such suspicions can still be shared, as dubious as they are. Though I'm having a hard time imagining why the king would want to fake his own death. So we are left with more conjecture and unanswered questions. Not the most fruitful results. She shot Cole a sharp, measuring look. And you did not even coax an official statement from the prince about recent events. That would have been useful, at the very least. When you barged into the royal palace alone, I hoped you'd have a more coherent plan than making the prince to babble nonsensically and then scaring the wits out of him. Hey, I know you're pissed that you didn't get to negotiate him yourself, but I did the best with what I had. You made a reckless move without consulting anyone else. And for what? What did you two even talk about? Well... Maeve's eyes narrowed, dripping with suspicion. I would find it most useful if you walked with us, step by step. through how your conversation went. Perhaps we shall find insights you could not. Cole crossed his arms and glared right back. Why do I feel like I'm the one being interrogated now? Because your integrity is being called into question, to which you should ideally provide answers instead of indignation. Gautier assured me that you are a trustworthy leader of this little messy band, but I have yet to witness anything of the sort. Artemis shuffled in her boots as she glanced between the two of them. Oh god, shit's getting real. Her gaze was filled with an uncomfortable amount of certainty, as though she was waiting for him to quickly put their doubts to rest. The unwavering faith in those eyes made Cole's inside squirm. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Our main plan was to barge into the 14th laboratory to dig up dirt on the royal family. This being with the prince wouldn't have uncovered any information protecting that by that anti-metic spell anyway. If it doesn't matter, then you should have no problem providing us with the details. Yeah, Cole. Fine. You want to know what we talked about? I was trying to get Cassius to speak with the bishop. Artemi blinked in surprise. To Her Excellency? Whatever for? To convince her not to kill you. What else? Everyone's gaze snapped to Artemi. Excuse me? The Grand Bishop has threatened to kill the Creator's Chosen? That's... The church has quite a reputation. But to do that to your own daughter? Artemi said, How did you find out? Yesterday you told Sid about how your mom threatened to revoke your title. That's a bit hard to do, considering the whole Creator's Chosen thing is passed down after you die. It didn't take much to put two and two together. That is not unprecedented. I've read that the church has discreetly put down several chosen throughout history when they become unruly or a danger to the public. Cole waved his hand in frustration. Well, tough shit. Artemi doesn't fit any of those categories, does she? I don't think lost a few pieces of jewelry begs a death sentence. So when I got the prince's attention, I tried to get him to remind Artie's mom that murder is generally frowned upon. My bad if I didn't prioritize our investigation over this. Artemi stared at him quietly, a storm of emotions rising behind her eyes. The world needs a competent chosen. If I prove to be unworthy, don't care. Get worthy. I never asked for your help. You shouldn't have to ask. Tony looked taken back before a tender smile settled across her face. Her smile was filled with undeserving gratitude for the guy who got her into this mess to begin with. Cole felt like he was going to be sick. I suppose I owe you my thanks. Frustration boiled inside Cole's chest. Why? I fucked up again. The prince made no promise to help, and we barely got any information out of him. Regardless of the results, I appreciate your efforts, Cole. She turned and nodded towards Maeve. I pray this is enough to assuage your suspicions. The noble nodded slowly. It does, somewhat. My apologies, Kalodi. It seems I misjudged you. But you didn't, Cole wanted to scream. I fucking stole one of the rubies that got her deeper into this mess. Why aren't you angry? The answer was obvious, of course. It was because they don't know the whole story. The story that he should have told them days ago. But instead, he kept his mouth shut and silently watched as Artemi led Maeve and Calder down the road towards the Magistrate District. Sid shook him and looked concerned, but Cole couldn't meet his gaze. He could only think of how he promised to come clean to Artemi, how he was supposed to fix her death sentence. And he was unable to do either. Cole stood stiffly as Sid placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. You doing okay, boss? What does it look like? He could see himself smile on Sid's face and resisted the urge to smack it. It looks like you're trying to help people as yourself for once. No impersonating, no dancing around people with your intentions, just honest help. I'm proud of you, boss. Fat little good that's Ben. I fucking ruined everything that I touch, and you're standing there treating me like I'm some sort of... Cole hissed and covered his face with his hands. Sorry. That came out wrong. He sighed and waved his hands dismissively. Go ahead with the others. I need a moment. Badger looked like he wanted to argue, but simply gave his shoulder a warm squeeze before leaving. Oh, poor Cole. Cole sat alone at the castle gates, disgust writhing underneath his own skin. It did not get any better when he heard familiar footsteps approaching behind him. What do you want, old man? Grant got out a soft chuckle. Oh, nothing in particular. I simply watched you defend my favorite pupil with the wraith of a true friend. Wrath! And I am here to offer you my thanks. I don't want your fucking thanks. He glanced up at the Knight Commander. Please tell me the bishop isn't really going to kill her. I could, but I would be lying. Nor would this be the first time Katrina Gautier made attempts on her daughter's life. What? The bear shook his head quietly. I cannot speak on the details, but just like all the previous attempts, she will have to go through me first. An amused smile tugged at the edge of his lips. And it appears she will have to go through you as well. For that, I am thankful. Cole pulled his hair in frustration. This whole thing sucks. You've worked closely with the royal family and the church, right? Can't you tell us what's really going on? Well... Oh! Knight Commander opened his mouth to speak, but his jaws suddenly snapped shut. Cole glanced up curiously. For a moment, the old bear's face was at war with himself before a smooth and uncanny neutral expression. I am afraid I have nothing to share. Are you okay, man? I am quite fine. Cole took a step back, thoroughly unsettled. The bear's eyes followed him, but did not quite see him. He bit his lip. Noodle mentioned sensing some sort of suggestion spell in him the first time they met, didn't he? Cole blinked and whispered quietly under his breath as magic pulled behind his eyes. Ghostly gaze. Cole was thankful his arcane sense had grown sharper over the last few days. Ugh. His eyes carefully traced over to the Knight Commander's body. Most of what he saw was perfectly expected. Grank was a strong paladin, radiating with subtle waves of celestial magic. And in between those waves were traces of that persuasive magic that Newell mentioned, traces that should have long faded by now. But they clung to him like tiny threads, wound tightly around every limb and tendril. Cole's eyes widened. Nice tattoos. Greg's jaws opened and immediately snapped shut once more. But this time, beneath the stiffness, there was an amused twinkle in his eye. I have no tattoos. Of course. Yet there they were as clear as day. Arcane etchings dug in deep into the Knight Commander's skin, wrapping around his body like ink chains. The real question remained, who was pulling the strings? It suddenly dawned on Cole exactly why the old bear asked him to keep an eye on Artemi instead of just doing it himself. He took several cautious steps back. I better get going. The others are probably waiting for me. A little chuckle escaped from Grank's throat. Something funny? I was right about you the first time we met. You do have sharp eyes. Best of luck, young Collodi. Without another word, the old bear turned and disappeared behind the city gates. What? What, no prince icon? Aw, shit. Wait. Oh, they're going to the Magistracy District. Wait a minute. Agatha stumbled through the dark stone corridors of Ron Reed's alley on sore feet, her body exhausted. She let out a breath of relief. She finally caught sight of the city proper. A sharp, biting sense of ozone lingered in her nose. The collapsed fighting ring faded behind her as she fled home. Her little operation did not go as smoothly as she hoped, but at least she got what she came. The old bat spilled through the door of her dingy apartment, threw off her... No! The jewel felt warm. Oh my god! No! That was her? Oh, back, Grandma, why? No! This is one of those demonic rubies that Roderick procured. She had hoped to snag all of them from that atrocious black market, but she didn't anticipate the creator's chosen of all people to show up. Her presence had surely thrown a wrench in her Still, 1 out of the 4 was better than none at all. Agatha rolled the ruby in her palm gently. She studied her reflection of the scarlet facets. With the demonic entity at her disposal, she could finally give Roderick the retribution he deserved. Years of sleepless nights toiling in her lab, pouring her heart and soul into making her dream a reality, to finally fill this gnawing emptiness in her chest. The dream to hold her daughter's hand, wiped away in an instant by that vain man's ambitions. Agatha's grip around the ruby tightened. Finally, justice was within reach. The flesh of her palm suddenly seared in a painful opening. The jewel clattered across the floor with a hiss. Moments later, blinding blood-red light filled the room before Agatha was unceremoniously thrown off her feet. She groaned and clutched her head weakly. The old bat blinked through the scarlet haze. Her heart leapt to her throat. Her own face stared back at her, curiosity and amusement twinkling through black sclera. Except, the face wasn't hers. It looked older, ancient. Unblinking, scarlet irises pierced her mind and peered inside, picking apart every thought like an open book. My, what do we have here? A childless mother and a broken promise. The anger, the indignation. You seek retribution for your betrayal of your life's work. Anyone's voice rumbled with amusement. What an interesting little puzzle I found myself with. Agatha watched as her own face broke into a gleeful smile with far too many teeth. Tell me, mortal, are you worthy of my envy? Huh? Agatha jolted awake with a start. She sat abruptly for a makeshift desk, blinking warily through her sleep-addled haze. The warm cloak draped across her shoulders tumbled to the ground of the dingy warehouse. She didn't remember bringing her cloak with her. You're awake. Agatha jumped. She realized to see a familiar small bat staring back at her, nonchalantly gnawing on a loaf of cheesy bread. For fuck's sake, there's cheesy breads everywhere! Was that her lunch? Agatha peered at her now empty food. Oh, for fuck's sake. I forgot how boring mortals are when they sleep. How can you just lie there doing nothing for so long? Seems like an awful waste of time when you have limited days on this earth. Agatha groaned and rubbed her eyes. Oh, God. It's been a while since I've done her voice. Life sucks ass. Being awake for long periods of time is terrible for one's health. That's why we practice being dead for 8 hours a night. Zello squinted suspiciously. At least Agatha thought she did. It was hard to tell beneath the child's unkempt hair. That doesn't sound right. Who's the mortal expert here? In my experience, sleepless mortals tend to die sooner. Exactly. Too much time spent living is bad for you. That's why you should leave me alone so I can catch some beauty sleep. For once. The little bat huffed indigently. She grabbed Agatha's cloak off the dusty floor and tossed it over the old enchantress' head. Trust me, you're not that interesting when you're asleep. And you snore. I'd rather be sampling all the food stalls at the festival right now, but someone has decided to stay here in this boring-ass warehouse. My wallet's still recovering from that time you impersonated me and bought 50 pounds of sweets. Regardless, the City Watch and Church Knights are swarming the streets after your little stunt yesterday. You best behave to keep a low profile. Zealous scoffed and crossed her arms. Excuse me? I am Zealous the Faceless. I am 8 centuries old, and I have the best shape-shifting abilities of all my siblings. No church knight with their feeble divine sense is going to pick me out of a crowd. Did the Bonebigger boy trick you into revealing yourself yesterday? That's different. He had my little brother's help. I'm pretty sure sending a child down the street with an armful of fake bombs didn't require demonic intervention. Ugh. Whatever, I still won the fight.
You got chopped into giblets.
That doesn't count either. The little brat had backup.
Ah, so the great envy demon can defeat one mortal with no problems, but 2 mortals are clearly too much for her.
You're being a dick.
And you're being a child. Sit down and behave for just 1 day. I'm begging you.
The little demon crossed her arms and plopped down on a nearby crate with a huff, her wings fluttering restlessly behind her. Is that what her daughter was supposed to be like? Oh my god! That makes sense of why she looks like that. That is probably Agatha's daughter she was trying to bring to reality. That is the daughter she wanted. Oh. I don't know if that's correct, but that's just my weird theory, because it probably is.
Speaking of behaving, can't you shift into literally any other body?
What's wrong with this one? The envy demon flashed a toothy grin as though to taunt her. This is who you wanted to see, isn't it? Oh my god, I was right! Rosie. She glared down, busied herself with the paperwork on her desk, refusing to give the demon satisfaction watching her squirm.
Rosie isn't real.
And yet, I can see her so clearly in your mind. Your precious little would-be doll. I fucking knew it! You spent an awfully long time thinking about her, imagining every little detail. What she grew up to be like, her hobbies, the way she'd skip around your lap while you try to wrangle the little ankle biter. The demon sneered. I must say, I've grown rather fond of this space. It's comfy. What a self-indulgent imagination you have, Enchanter. Ow! Let go! Let go! Agatha sighed as she yanked the young bat around by the ears. Oh, like, ow!
You know, I imagine she'd be a lot more polite.
Nels wiggled out of her grip with an indigenous hiss. Well, you know, children tend to disappoint.
And you're doing a stellar job in that department, you little shit. Can't you just shapeshift into that cloak form you used yesterday?
Oh, I'd love to, but I also want to eat snacks. And this form doesn't have a fucking mouth.
You're a demon. You don't need to eat.
Listen, old bag, I came to the material realm to have a good time, and that includes snacking as much as I damn please. Agatha rubbed her temples with a sigh. Oh god, it's back.
To just create your own face. You don't need to keep borrowing from the rest of us.
Little demon bristled before spitting out a bare laugh. Her brow twisted into a loathing sneer as she idly kicked at the dirt beneath her feet. For a brief moment, the childlike tone of her voice washed away the unearthed ancient creature underneath. You're asking Envy to create a face she is content with? I didn't think you capable of such cruelty. Agatha quietly stared at the sulking figure of her imagined daughter. The demon glared back, and her hackles rising in bitter defiance. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know you've been wishing that you grabbed literally any of the other rubies. Like it or not, you're stuck with me.
Is that such a bad thing?
Compared to all my siblings? Is that even a question? They even cackled, her voice heavy with loathing. Oh my god! There is wisdom in fear. There is strength in rage. And there's joy in temptation. Wait, so the rubies like this. One of them's envy, one of them's temptation, which is noodle, one of them's rage, and one of them's fear? Right. I'm gonna take a guess here that there are 4 rubies, right? And each are demons. So, from what we know now, from what Zelos has said here, about there's wisdom and fear, there's strength and rage, and there's joy and temptation. So my guess is this: there are 4 demons in those rubies, and one of them represents temptation, fear, rage, and envy. Now we already know who the other 2 are. Zevlos and Noodle are envy and temptation. We have not seen fear or rage yet, so that'll be interesting. Although that's just my guess. I'm not sure if that's going to be right. But envy? Envy is ugly. Petty. It is seeing your missing pieces in every person you meet. It is knowing that there is nothing here but an empty pit that will never be filled. A mask with nothing left behind. So you tell me, mortal, is it really such a bad thing?
Are you truly envious of everyone you meet?
Isn't it obvious? It's in the fucking name. Agatha smiled softly.
Even me?
Agatha watched in contemplative silence as the younger bat seethed. She was unsure what compelled her, but her hand suddenly reached out and patted the distressed child's head. Zevlus froze.
To see something of worth in everyone. I suppose there is a kind of beauty in that.
Zevlus was silent. That is a nice thought, but it doesn't change what I am. Agatha adjusted her glasses thoughtfully.
Can demons learn and grow the way mortal children can?
Little bat scoffed across her arms. Have you forgotten how old I am? I have lived multitudes of your lifetimes. What is left for me to learn?
I like to think that there is always something to learn, so long as you're alive. Are demons truly so unchanging?
We don't exactly perceive time the way you do. We do not age nor grow. We simply are.
That sounds like a rather dreadful way to live. What do you have to look forward to? The point of life is to experience the world and grow from it. At least, that is what I believe.
Little bat rolled her eyes as she lounged back in her seat on the table. I won't be lectured by a creature that will wither and die like a freshly plucked flower. If it is possible for demons to change, I certainly won't learn it from you. With a dismissive huff, she hopped off the table and with a beat of her wings, soared over the rows of crystal towers in the warehouse. Agatha grimaced as the demon landed on top of one of them, the crystal teetering precariously under her weight.
Be careful with those, you little shit! They're fucking expensive! I spent the entire night hauling them back to the warehouse. It was a fucking pain in the ass.
Didn't you spend the entirety of yesterday sending them up yesterday to festival streets?
Yes! During your little stunt yesterday, the Bonebreaker brat tried to sound the alarm with these crystals. You know, after you hijacked all of them, the State Watch was not pleased to learn they invested a sizable sum into a secure system that didn't work. And so they sent all my towers back to his warehouse to be recalibrated. That damn chef was insufferably smug the whole time.
It's not my fault that your crystal doohickeys were laughably easy to overtake. Agatha sat and rubbed her temples tiredly. God damn this temple thing.
No matter. I need to double check everything before tomorrow's attack anyhow.
What? What? I'm sorry, what? I need to double check everything before tomorrow's attack anyhow.
You will be mostly recovered by then, yes?
Zella smirked, flexed her wings and a cat her roll on her shoulders. I think I can handle a brief battle with a washed-up old wizard.
Yesterday you were bested by a man armed with some sturdy wire. Roderick is no ordinary mage. You will do well to not underestimate him.
This is a whole lot of effort to beat up one lousy old man. Why do you hate him so much anyhow? A dark look fell over the older bat's face.
Do you know why I became an enchanter? Why I spent decades studying life itself as an arcane researcher?
Sam was blinking, hesitantly brushed a hand over her own face. The child you could never have. Agatha stared at the face of Rosie for several moments before squeezing her eyes closed.
You asked me once why mortals bother living such brief and feeble lives. Everyone has a different answer, but for me, I wanted to bring life into the world. A family. To hold my daughter's hand. To watch her learn and grow. To live. And when the day comes when I meet my maker, I can rest easy knowing that I've imparted a piece of myself to someone I loved after I'm gone. And if I'm lucky, change her life for the better.
Brief pause between them as Agatha pressed a hesitant hand over her shoulder. Over her stomach. Oh.
Unfortunately, my body had other plans. Every miscarriage in passing here felt like another gram of sand slipping through my fingers. I grew desperate, burned bridges, and frightened loved ones. And in the end, I was left alone as a childless crone. That's when he approached me. Roderick. We were longtime colleagues in the arcane research field. I dare say we were old friends, or as close of a friend as I was capable of having. His wife was dying, and they were both barren and wished for a child of their own. Probably for the purpose of heir apparency for the Axian throne. He never struck me as much of a loving father. But Roderick offered me nearly unlimited funding and resources for my efforts to create a child through his arcane means. A real child, born from two parents who can learn and grow.
A bare sneer fell across Agatha's face.
I did it. I succeeded. Years of toiling, research, and countless resources spent, I finally brought two potential lives into the world. And do you know what happened? Roderick snatched my life's work and bastardized it, defiled it, for whatever egotistical scheme he had concocted.
The quill her hand snapped in her grip.
I don't care what it takes. I will see that man and all he holds dear destroyed. Perhaps then I can rest easy.
Zevlos peered at her quietly. You said your life's dream was to bring your daughter into the world, didn't you? Why not do that instead of dedicating so much for a man you hate?
I said I wanted to be a mother who could raise her child with the love and warmth she deserves. Look at me, Zevlos. I am a bitter and vengeful woman. What is left to me besides is fear and indignation? What kind of worthwhile life could I give this child? I'll not curse her with a mother like me.
I don't know. I mean, you're still a batty old hag, but you've got a few redeeming qualities. The enchanter was taken back from him before...
Truly, a fleeting glimpse of worth only envy can find. I didn't realize you were such an optimist. I'm afraid I'm in too deep to turn back now. Tomorrow, I will dedicate my all to destroy everything Roderick holds dear, and die trying.
Rosie's face blinked and frowned. Die trying. There was no question. A certainty.
Roderick is a formidable foe. I don't intend to survive the day.
Mortals are supposed to value their lives, aren't they? The edge of Agatha said, oh.
Isn't that a hint of concern I hear, Zevlos?
Don't flatter yourself. I've seen thousands of mortals drop like flies across the centuries. Your methods simply baffle me, that's all.
Really? I always thought it was pretty straightforward. Humiliate and destroy the man who took everything from me. That's all there is. Speaking of which...
Agatha rummaged at her desk. What the hell? Afterwards, she... Wait, what is that? This looks similar to a crown that my siblings and I were encased in. But it feels different, somehow.
I'd hope so. I made this one myself. If Roderick is going to bastardize my life's work, it's only fair that I get to steal some of his designs.
What is it supposed to do exactly?
This crown was designed to drag the subconscious of its wearer's mind to the surface. Buried memories and planted mental constructs from what I can gather. Makes sense, considering what the man had planned for my creations.
Agatha traced a finger against the crown's sharp edges with a determined glare.
I've created one of my own and repurposed it for tomorrow's battle. If we are to stand a chance against Roderick, we will need to even the playing field. Ah, speaking of which...
The ball on the enchanter's desk suddenly flashed. Someone had tripped one of her skying wards. The bat pressed her palm against the glass and peered into its reflection. The fog swirled within several moments for clearing the show. Artemi Gautier in a little mirror. Oh no!
Curiosity has baited our quarry to the snare. Let's see how she fares, shall we?
Are you shitting me? Wait, are we ever gonna go? There's some places we haven't gone to yet. We haven't gone to Mount Zenithar, the Barrens, Fisher's Coast, Exterior Farmland, or Pirate's Isle. I don't think we haven't been to Noble Court either, but then again, I think we did. I don't remember. But we have not been to these 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places yet. I bet we will later on. Magistrate, 14th Laboratory Exterior. What? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Agatha, why? She wants revenge. No. Back, Grandma. No. I don't want to hate you like I hate Katrina. But I knew that little bat thing was of her daughter. I knew it. I had my suspicions early on when Cole was trying to kick her ass. Yes, I had my very suspicions about it, but this proved it. My God. I literally did have my suspicions early on about it. But to have it proven is goddamn facts. Ugh. Whoa. Cole squinted at the ruined building before them with a raised brow. Huh. I guess now we know why the lab was shut down. A deep crater carved deep into the white, sterile walls of the 14th laboratory, cutting through the building's multiple stories like a layered cake. A strange sense of foreboding hung in the air as their group approached the tired gates of this abandoned institution. What do you think, my thick-thighed wizard? I think I have a crush on him now. Incredible. What do you think happened here? A magical accident of some sort? A battle, I'd wager. The destruction is contained in a perfectly circular explosion. And the sides of the buildings have been reclaimed slightly by the local vegetation, but not a single weed has sprouted within the blast radius. Necrotic magic. If I were to hazard a guess, a powerful wizard casts Circle of Death here. If a big battle happened here, there's got to be a record of some sort, right? Ever eager to be useful, Calder stepped forward and flourished his hand through his hair dramatically. Oh, Cole idly wondered how the hyena would react if he shaved it off. That would fucking be horrible. I'll have you know that during my arcane safety curriculum, I studied all the major magical incidents that occurred throughout Axia's recent history. A large-scale attack would have been reported in the local papers at the very least, but I have seen no such records. You sure you didn't just forget? Calder scoffed and brushed his hair with a huff. He's been doing this a lot, Cole mused. A stress tick or just plain vanity, it was hard to say. Let me assure you, I am quite confident in my studies. House O'Shaughnessy's education regiment assures that each of its heirs, so this incident was suppressed from the news. Interesting. Knives traced over the exposed interior of the building while doing their utmost to avoid contact with the spluttering indigent Calder. Use the butt end of the joke now. Tell me, O'Shaughnessy, did your studies describe what this laboratory was used for? Well, it was mostly research for the royal family. Its subjects included life energy and other health-related magics. Famously, this was the facility where King Roderick spearheaded research for a cure to Queen Tabitha's wasting disease. I believe they also lent their facilities to the church to research celestial magic. None of this sounds like it could cause a big explosion. Indeed, quite a mystery we've stumbled upon. Artemi stepped up to the gate of the laboratory with grim determination. We should conduct our investigation with caution. If we split into 2 groups, we could start from the basement and upmost floors and meet somewhere in the middle. Before Artemi could cross the front gates, Cole seized her by the wrist. Stop. Don't move. Don't touch anything. What is the matter? This building. It looks abandoned, but it's warded like a fortress. Arcane light flooded Cole's eyes as he peered across the laboratory's facade. There are traps and protection spells everywhere. Hell, there's a massive glyph under our feet right now, and there are more covering every inch of the perimeter. Luckily, everything looks inactive, but let's not do anything stupid that might trigger it. Cole turned his gaze downward, his brow furrowed in concentration. And there's a very powerful anti-scrying ward in the basement. I can't see through it all. Somebody wants to hide something in this lab, and they're serious about it. Cole glanced up and rubbed his eyes, and then rubbed his temples. Hey, nerd. What? Are you referring to me? Who else could I be talking to? Focus up. You mentioned that the church used this place too, right? What for? Oh, well, I'm not quite sure. The records never specified anything other than studies into celestial magic of some sort. Cole frowned as he leaned forward, trying to get a better view through watery eyes. Sounds about right. There is some sort of celestial thing inside the building. Scratch that. Multiple things. Pieces of things. I'm not sure what they are. I can't see them clearly, but beside him, Artemi let out a shiver. I think I can feel it too. Through my divine sense. I can't quite place why, but it feels sickening. Well, that's unsettling. Is it dangerous? Cole rubbed his wiry eyes and temples and shrugged. No clue. Artemi radiates celestial magic too, but her magic feels different, like a big cloud of static. Very prickly, like a little thunderstorm, but overall, not that strange. Whatever's inside this lab, though, it feels, how do I put it, otherworldly. Rotten. He jumped as Noodle slithered up his throat and loud, disgusted hiss.
That's it! It stinks even worse than that shiny mortar! Absolutely foul! Like meat that's been left too long in the sun! Whatever your fool's intended to, make it quick! I can scarcely tolerate this stench! Holy shit, my nose is fucking burning! Get to it, get to it, you little peasant!
Little Python gagged and quickly retreated back into Cole's pocket. Maiev raised an eyebrow. Was that your familiar? I wasn't aware snakes were sensitive to celestial energies. Well... He's a noodle of many talents. I can concur. His master may be a menace, but Sir Noodle has a history of great advice and good taste in snacks. Strange. For a novice bard to have a magical familiar. Where did you find it? Sid cut in quickly. I'm sure we can chat about Cole's pet rearing methods later. Right now, let's focus on the big, ominous building in front of us. Yuda's eyes narrowed, but she did not press any further. So what's the plan? Is it safe to go inside with whatever weird creature is in there? Cole rubbed his sore eyes and temples, blinking against the street. We should be okay if we tread carefully. I'll lead from the front and point out any traps that are in our way. Aina pointed towards the ground beneath, before sheepishly realizing that it could see through the dirt. The anti-scrying magic seems to be focused mainly in the lab's basement. I bet that's where the information for the anti-memetic spell is stored. Let's make our way there in one group in case we're attacked or set anything off. Afterwards, if it looks safe, we can investigate the rest of the building. Sound like a plan? An agreeable approach. Lead the way. Cole glanced at Dewar warily before stepping forward and pushing open the front gates. Immediately, he felt the air reverberate as though something old was shaken loose. Diana sniffed, not knowing the faint metallic scent of ozone. Did you set up a trap? Did you set up a trap already? Well, no. At least, I don't think so. Nothing seems to be exploding in our faces yet. It might have been a silent alarm of some sort. Cole whirled around to see a sudden flash of white mist. Well, look who it is! Prince Cassius abruptly collapsed in front of their group, panting with his hands on his knees as though he had just run a marathon. What are you all doing at my father's laboratory? Oh, now you want to talk? This place is strictly forbidden and dangerous. You shouldn't be anywhere near here. It took a moment for the others to comprehend that the Prince of Accident just dropped out of the sky at their feet. Artemi immediately scrambled to one knee and a panic mixed in between a bow and salute. Cowler was a surprised squeal, unfit for a grown man, while Sid gave the prince a shy little wave. Maeve, much to cold disappointment, approached the prince without so much as batting an eye. With all due respect, your highness, we are in dire need of answers. When you refused an audience with us, we naturally looked elsewhere. Well, can't you look anywhere else? This laboratory, it's such an awful place. You will have a terrible time, I assure you. So you've been here before. Cassius saw a squawk and covered his beak. Well, technically, it's a research center for the royal family. Of course I've been here. The prince shot Cole a pointed look. I really don't see why you, of all people, would pry into this place for answers. You've been here yourself. No? Cassius' feathers puffed up in frustration. Well, of course you have. We both have. Enchantress Stoker didn't make you a very good liar, did she? Cole frowned. The prince seemed awfully worked up about this. I'm not sure what conspiracy you've cooked up in your head. Yesterday... What? Alright. Seems my phone's been going off all this time. Yesterday was the first time I've even met the old bat. The only reason we're here is because she mentioned the royal family was hiding something shady in this lab. Cassius was exasperated. What do you mean you've never met her before yesterday? Where did you come from then? Well, you see, when a man and woman love each other very much, don't patronize me. Artemi suddenly perked up with a curious gleam in her eye. Actually, I am rather curious. Oh, for fuck's sake, Artemi! You are obviously Sir Mara's son, but who is your mother, Cole? She let out a gasp. Have we uncovered a scandal of some sort? Is this Enchanter Agatha? Is Enchanter Agatha your secret birth mother? Cole stared at Deppin. Do I look like a fucking bat to you? Well, by the ears and the snarky attitude, and probably the holograma sense, maybe you're bat-like? I don't know. You could be her bat son! Or half and half. You're a bat child! Gautier, you later told us yourself that the Enchantress suffered from infertility issues. And, I'm not sure Mara Bonebreaker is into women. Artemi deflated slightly. Oh, I suppose you're right. Apologies for my outburst. I just encountered similar fascinating scenarios in my reading recently. Sid placed a hand. Oh no. Artie, these works aren't a good reference for reality. Simon crossed her arms with a huff. Romance is alive and real, Sir Sid. Do not give in to cynicism and dismiss the possibility outright. See, this is why you agreed to marry my aim on the spot. That's different! Cole sighed wearily. Unfortunately, romance has Papa and Hamish tied together by the hips. I don't think there's any real mystery there. They are a lovely couple, but surely there are some dramatic details to uncover. For instance, who is your birth mother, Cole? I cannot imagine Sir Mara courting anyone else. He loves Sir Hamish so deeply. Are we seriously gossiping about my papa in the middle of an abandoned lab? I'd quite like to know myself. To know as well. That one-eyed brute has left quite a scandalous trail of rumors in his wake. You are his son. Surely you know fact from fiction. Cole frowned as he gnawed at his lip. I never liked thinking about this sort of thing. And Papa never liked talking about it, so I never pressed him. Why ever not? Honestly, until recently, I always thought Papa just hooked up with some whore and I popped out afterwards. Oh, God. That's not very romantic. Artemi blinked and shot him a curious look. Until recently? Cole grimaced, his stomach writhing uncomfortably. Well, you know, I've been kind of a shithead. That is no great mystery, Cole. Yeah. Anyways, I don't really care much about the whole thing because Papa's my father. I'm the son of Morrow Bonebreaker. That's all that mattered. I didn't care who he was with, whether it was Hamish or some random woman he shacked up with. Because he's the greatest warrior in the land, and who else can really measure up to that? But now, Cole bit his lip as images from Hamish's memories flickered in his mind. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like something he'd do. Artemi's ears perked up with excitement. Oh, perhaps you are like me. Her Excellency was wed to no man, yet Career blessed her with child. Everyone glanced at the knight awkwardly. Even if we go with the Immaculate Conception angle, I don't think Papa or Hamish have the right equipment for it. And I cannot imagine the church would react well to the idea. And the bishop was probably lying through her teeth, but Cole decided to keep the tidbit to himself. Why are we talking about the birds and the bees? Come on! Stop it! Diana glanced up and was startled to see Prince Cassius staring up at him with a conflicted mix of confusion and indignation. God, indignation has been all over this. Indignation. Say that 5 times fast. Not yet. If it pops up, then I will. Are you really not? Cole out frustrated side waved his hand dismissively. Can we move on yet? I don't see how my papa's love life has anything to do with this fucked up lab here. Cassius shook himself out of his stupor, his tail feathers puffed up defensively. I don't suppose I could convince you to keep your nose out of this. I mean, have you even reconsidered my little request from earlier? If you agree to talk to the bishop, I might. There was a split second when the Peacock seemed to ponder Cole's proposal. Artemi suddenly stepped forward with a determined glare. No. I beg your pardon? Artemi, I appreciate your concern, Cole, but I will not allow my own trifles to get in the way of our investigation. Trifle? This is your life we're talking about, and I shall do with it as I please. So no, we will not give up our efforts in return for a stern word with Her Excellency. I will not allow it. Cole wanted to argue, but one firm glare from Artemi snapped his jaws shut. I won't watch you walk to your death because of some high and mighty sense of duty. Artemi shot him a wire spot. Then don't. Succeed. Find what we're looking for, and we'll go home to Miss Shriekwards for a celebratory dinner. Cole ignored the little needles of guilt writhing in his stomach and forced out a smile. He turned back towards Prince Cassius. Well, you heard the chosen one. We're breaking into your fancy lab. I could order you to stop, you know. The royal army is at my beck and call. They could throw you in prison for disobedience. You certainly could, but will you? I can see tomorrow's papers already. Prince Cassius arrests investigators outside Royal Lab. What secrets is he hiding? Cassius wrung the edge of his robe nervously. I could order the papers silence as well. Of course, but there's nothing quite as loud as silence. There will be whispers to fill that silence. People will talk. And there is no greater threat to a king than restless people. Life stepped forward, her eyes piercing the prince like sharp daggers. Or, you could save us the trouble and explain yourself now. Cassius gazed over the rusted gates towards the foggy facade of the 14th laboratory. The ruined crater of stone stared back, cold and unmoving. A bitter, almost nostalgic look fell across the prince's face. What? I wish that explosion killed me. I beg your pardon? Cassius turned back towards the group of defeated. I am not a good prince, nor a good son. Or a good anything, really. But my father, the king, chose a purpose for me. If I cannot fulfill even this, Then what is left? Tammy's eyes softened. She stepped forward, her voice gentle. Do you follow this purpose because you truly believe in it? Or simply because it was given to you? Cassius bristled. How would I know what to believe in if I've never known anything else? Artemi reached out and took the prince's hand, giving it a comforting squeeze. Cassius stared at the touch, as though he wasn't sure what to make of it. I understand the feeling. It is frightening to lose a tether that has kept you grounded for your whole life. But it can be freeing too. I think instead of blindly following our purpose, it is high time we make our own choices. The prince suddenly looked very small. Artemi's words seemed to have struck a chord as Cassius pondered in silence for several long moments. Cole was right. You really are less scary in person. The peacock squeezed the knight's hand as though marveling at its warmth. His eyes suddenly widened. Wait a moment! You're radiating celestial magic! His feathers puffed up in fright as he stumbled backwards. You must stop it this instant! Huh? Am I? I wasn't aware I was doing anything in particular. Cassie's glanced frankly around the lab's front gates. Doesn't matter. You must suppress your magical presence immediately. Quick! Before you set off any of the lab's defenses! I'm pretty sure Artie does that subconsciously. She's been giving off celestial smells since I met her. I smell? Cole, why did you never tell me? I thought you knew. Noel complains about it every time he sees you. Never mind that. This lab is warded to hell and back to keep those things inside. If the wars mistake you for one of them, it will react accordingly. What should I do? I never had to suppress my own magic before. The ground. Uh-oh. The stone beneath their feet suddenly glow with an eerie silver light. They exchanged nervous looks as the radiance slowly grew brighter. It's the glyph from earlier. Looks like Artemi's magic activated it. Should we start running or? Bad idea. It looks like it's set to detonate if we step off of it. How did I not notice this earlier? It was completely in error a second ago. Father didn't bother hiding most of his traps since the fragments aren't exactly thinking beings. But rather a few of the traps were cleverly hidden with anti-scrying spells in case someone tried to smuggle them out. Fascinating. Let's pretend I understood that. Now, how do we get out of this glyph without blowing ourselves up? Cole, what happens if we stay on top of it for too long? Well, you see, it blows up anyway. The father like playing with his food. This is the guy you're worried about disappointing? Artemi leaned forward with a determined glare, her arm outstretched with arcane lightning crackling at her fingertips. If I focus all my strength into dispel magic, I may be able to negate it. No, dumbass! You're using the same celestial magic it's designed to detect. It'll just go off faster. Before the words could leave Cole's mouth, the stone beneath their feet rumbled with a blight. Uh-oh! In a fraction of a second, they could feel the soles of their feet sear as the ground roiled like oh no! With mere moments before the explosion went off, Cassius whipped out his hand in a panic, his tail feathers gleaming with arcane light. Scatter. Oh, wow. As the world disappeared around them in a flash of white mist, the muffled explosion of the front gates erupted and flames echoed in their ears. Oh. What the fuck? Work in progress. What? The following section not yet complete. Please return to future update. Oh no. Oh no. Oh! Oh shit, are you fucking kidding? Cassius actually looks pretty badass. Oh dear. So is this like gonna be the first floor? Okay. Precious bird boy. Research hall. Ow! In a bright flash of mist, Cole and Cassius tumbled out of the air and onto the hard stone floor like screaming sacks of potatoes. Well, that worked at least. Oh my god. So much shit has been going down. Oh man. Shit is going down majorly here. Cole Winston wiped on his feet while the prince curled up in a cord, gingerly nursing his knee. Where were they? Somewhere inside the laboratory? The prince cast Scatter. He must have teleported them all inside in a panic. Ow, 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 I think I'm bruised. I've never been bruised before. What do I do? Oh, walk it off, you big baby. Have you never gotten into any scraps as a kid? Cassius pressed his palm against his knee, sheepishly avoided Cole's unimpressed stare. I wouldn't know. I've never been a kid. Cole nodded, Prince incredulously. He knew those were a bunch of oppressed pansies, but this was a bit much. Laying aside, searching over the wrecked room, he plucked up the cleanest intact glass bottle he could find. Magic sparked off his fingertips as he gave it a quick polish against his waistcloth. Oh, God. Ew! Ew! Cole, why would you do that? That waistcloth has been in places that we don't know of. Have you never cleaned it? That's a question I don't want to know. Ugh. Blah. I cannot say that word. The ball instantly grew chill to the touch. Cole gave it a quick twirl before squatting down and pressing an improvised cold pack against the prince's ugly purple bruise. Hold it there for a while. It'll start hurting after a few minutes. Or days, or years, or maybe it's terminal. Congrats on your first bruise. Ain't this exciting? I'm no doctor or anything. I just watched you rub this all over your loincloth. Pre-stignation cleans things too. Prince Cassius sniffled. Not very well, apparently. Good gods, Papa was right. Wizards really are the whiniest wimps in existence. Excuse you, I just saved you from a fiery death. I think I'm allowed to whine a tiny bit. As the prince nursed his knee, Cole took in their new surroundings with a frown. It looked like they were in one of the hallways on the second floor. The ceiling on the far end had collapsed, revealing the gray, overcast skies above. There buzzed against his ears with an eerie ring, a telltale sign of long abandoned magic. Bullshit, Tingling. If you wanted to keep us out of your lab, why did you teleport us inside? I panicked. I'm not really used to casting my magic yet. Bullshit. You've been tossing out high-level spells like candy all day. I'm not lying. The prince's eyes wandered the cold, sterile walls of the laboratory. A look of bittersweet nostalgia fell across his face. But I
suppose my mind wandered as I thought about this place. And there was something I wanted to speak to you about privately. Cole stiffened as he glanced around, his eyes flashing with arcane light. Where did you throw everyone else? They're safe, I think. They're all somewhere else in the lab. I just wanted a few moments alone with you. I have some questions. All right. We're alone. Ask. Cassius' feathers ruffled up nervously. His eyes dart ever in the room, but the hyena, his hands clutching the ball against his knee in a tight grip. Finally, the prince looked up and gestured around him. Do you recognize this place? This is one of the things that made us different, you know. We have a general awareness of our surroundings even before we were made. Cole stared. Made? What are you talking about? Cassius turned towards the hyena, his face unreadable. This is what I wanted to speak to you about. Tell me, what were you made for? Cole's fur stood on end. He scanned his surroundings. The broken lab equipment littering the floor, the destroyed walls opening up to the foggy sky above. There was an eerie sense of familiarity he couldn't quite shake. Cole's eyes wandered to the door at the end of the hallway, and his shoulders reflectively tensed. When you said made? Come on, Clody. You're no fool. I'm certain you put the piece together by now. Cole swallowed, his throat uncomfortably tight. He wanted to snap and say no. He had no idea what the prince was implying. I don't have any idea what he's implying, but he'd be stupid to ignore all the signs. Back at the entrance of the lab, the peacock pestered him about his parentage and how he was connected to Agatha Stoker. And yesterday, the enchanter mentioned how one of his fathers broke into her lab 23 years ago. All the times Papa chuckled, thank the gods you've got Hamish's brain, and avoided mentioning Cole's mother like the plague. Or any of his family at all. And Cole's own fur patterns that were suspiciously dark for a stripe. The bard reached up and gently traced the little black spot underneath his left eye, the one that perfectly mirrored Hamish's own. The truth was clear as day if Cole dwelled on it for even a moment. But instead, he glared at the prince and snapped. I have no idea what you're prating on about, the prince sighed. I suppose words are useless at this point. Better to show you. He gestured for Cole to follow before walking towards a room down the hall. The road led to another sterile right room. Inside was a singular empty display case. Its glass cracked as though someone punched a hole through the back of the back to grab whatever was inside. And in the display case, plagued were the words, Stoker Homunculi Specimen 1, Stoker Homunculi Specimen 2. Cole's reflection stared back at him through the glass casing, his chest twisting uncomfortably. What was inside this? Arcane crystals. 2 of them. They contained a heavily modified version of the spell Create Homunculus. Regular homunculi are instinctively tied to their creator and are entirely dependent on them. If their creator dies, the homunculus dies as well. And they do not grow nor change. What? These two though, they're different. Enchanters Stoker toiled for decades to make them a reality. A homunculus created from the blood of 2 donors, entirely independent of thought and being. They are children who grow and live in all the ways that matter. They're the flesh and blood offspring of their parents. One day, 23 years ago,
Someone broke into this facility and stole one of the crystals. The researchers never tracked down who it was, though I had a sneaking suspicion that Enchanter Agatha knew. Why she never attempted to retrieve it, I'll never know. Cassius peered at Coles curiously. You were the prototype, the first. What? I suppose there were some issues that needed ironing out. Perhaps that's why your body is so small and underdeveloped compared to your father's. Fathers, plural. Cole's insides squirmed with tiny needles of guilt. The years he spent giving Hamish hell for not being good enough for Papa rose in his mind. The countless outbursts and frustrations he hurled upon the Arhania when Cole couldn't measure up to Papa's legend. Oh my god! He was the son of Marl Bonebreaker, and Hamish was just a convenient target for his insecurities. And yet, there he was, his actual father. Not that it really mattered. Relevant or not, Hamish treated Cole with more patience than he deserved. In all these years, he just threw it back into his face. Good gods, he was pathetic. The prince watched him carefully, as though trying to pick apart his reaction for some hints of answers. Does the truth trouble you so? I'm not exactly jumping for joy, no. Are you upset because you did not fulfill your purpose? Cole glared up at the prince warily. Most people don't make kids with some great plan in mind. Sometimes they just kind of happen. Why does this matter so much to you? I did not just happen, and clearly neither did you. There's been a lot on my mind, and you're the only one who might have some semblance of an answer. So I must ask, what were you made for? I have to know. Cole looked up sharply as he ran frustrated claw through his hair. Does it really matter? My dads, they're big stupid idiots. They're madly in love and they wanted to have a kid. And then they ended up with the world's most disappointing son. Maybe I popped out some magic doohickey instead of a womb, but the reasoning still stands. Life just happens sometimes. There's some grand scheme behind it. Cassius frowned, an untethered fear etching across his face like cracks across glass. I don't understand how you can live like this without knowing what to do, without reason. Easily and disappointingly. If you want to know why, you're better off asking Papa and Hamish instead of me. I'm just the consequence. Cassius shot with a smile. From the moment I came into being, my purpose was etched into my mind. It was the one thing I knew with utmost certainty. And yet, he choked out a bare laugh. Well, I suppose I failed immediately. I, too, became a great disappointment. Prince shot Cole a humorous smile. But if you are correct and sometimes life just happens, then I must ask, how does one continue living when they know they've failed? Thus, I brought you here. A bargain of sorts. Cassius swallowed tightly before hesitantly reaching out Cole with an open palm. As I mentioned before, we were born different. We have a subconscious awareness around this even before we were born. I would like to peer into your mind and find the answer to my question. Cole recalled sharply. Before he could retort, the prince hastily continued. Mind reading is often a two-way street. You came to this facility to uncover the truth behind the royal family, did you not? In a technical sense, I am the caster behind the anti-memetic spell enshrouding this mystery. Anything you learn from me will be retained, regardless of any secret-keeping magic. And thus my proposal. Allow me to read your mind, and you are free to provide for answers as well. Cole bit his cheek, his thoughts racing wildly. They were in dire need of information, thus there truly was no better source than the man himself. But to expose himself like this was reckless, foolish. And yet, a small part of himself also yearned for the truth. He needed to find answers behind this whole royal family rabbit hole. For Artemi, he lied to himself half-heartedly. Alright, I agree to your bargain, but you'll only search my brain for your answer and no further. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, got it? Prince Cassian nodded solemnly. You'll have my word. The prince's outstretched hand hung in the air. Cole stared at it hesitantly for several long moments before exhaling sharply. He reached out and grasped it in a firm handshake. The air crackled with a surge of arcane light and everything went white. Ah, fuck! My eyes! Ow! Cole felt his mind open up like the blossoms of an unending flower. Each petal unfolded to reveal a prior moment of his life, flickering further and further back until the sights and sounds became unrecognizable. Cole felt the prince's gaze behind his eyes, peering deeper into his past for the answers they both craved. And then there was nothing. No sight, no sound, just a vast expanse of blackness. But there was a sense of some sort, a sense of self, and a vague awareness of the world around him. Cole was still, crystalline and unmoving. He sat behind a glass display case in the gray, sterile lab. Voices of researchers and enchanters flickered past his perception, whispering words he couldn't quite catch. And here he sat for what felt like days, months, years maybe. Cole could feel the time ticking past in his limited existence as he waited. But what was he waiting for? Then, a sudden crack of shattering glass filled his senses. Cole felt a large, warm hand seize his entire being and pull him from his glass prison. There was loud swearing, blaring alarms, and the panicked pattering of fleeing feet. Someone clutched him close to their chest as they ran. Cole could feel their heart race with a strange mix of excitement, apprehension, and fear. After what felt like forever, the running slowed to a halt. This person's unease did not fade as they approached their destination with Cole's arcane crystal in hand. There was the sound of a creaking door and then hushed voices. Hamish? Jaime? Hamster? You up? I've been meaning to talk to you about something. What? What time is it? If you woke me up at the dead of night to randomly say, I love you again, I swear to the gods. No, Hamish. This is a serious discussion. You said the same thing last week when this blasted tavern ran out of ale. I told you, Jaime. It's a guild building. I got all the permits and everything. We've even got a front sign now. We still get strangers strolling in asking for a pint. We could just throw one of the boys at the front door to gatekeep the place. Like a bouncer at a tavern. I keep telling ya, it's the Bonebreaker Mercenary Guild. It says so on our taxes. What taxes? There was a rustle as Almero was shaking his head furiously. Oh no, Hamish, I'm being serious. I needed to talk to you. About us. The bed creaked as Hamish quietly sat up. The room was silent. The two men exchanged wordless looks, their expressions like an open book to the other. About us? The spy hyena repeated the words in his best calm and stern tone. But this Hamish was younger, less practiced. The edge of fear bled through the crack in his voice. If it's about the guild company, I've managed to get all the paperwork sorted out. We've been getting more recruits by day and our reputation's been growing. No, that's not what Your family then? I know I said we should never go back to that blasted manor, but if you really wanted to visit your sister, then Hamish. The bed creaked once more as Morrow sat down next to his partner. The large hyena held Hamish's hand in a comforting squeeze before pressing a firm kiss to his knuckles. Ugh, I can't read. Hamish. Jaime. Hamster. What? Hamster? I'm sorry. This is a serious moment. It's just kind of funny. I don't like hamster. Love my life, moon of my skies, the most beautiful man in the world. Don't start again. Morrow chuckled fondly at his love's exasperated tone. Hamish did his best to sound unimpressed, but a smile tugged at his lips and the fear melted away into a tiny sliver. The tiniest sliver, but still ever present. Hamish squeezed his hand tightly, fearing the moment he finally let go. Morrow inhaled and weighed his words carefully. I want to talk about us, and how much I still love you, and how I want to spend the rest of my life growing old with you. But, Morrow shook his head firmly. No buts. I wouldn't be the man I am today if it weren't for you. Hell, I probably wouldn't be alive. I was a miserable, spoiled little lordling rotting away in that hell house until you swooped in and saved me. Morrow's voice was warm and fond. My knight in shining armor. My Hamish. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I thank the gods every day that you fell into my life. You said earlier that you didn't wake me up to randomly say I love you again. A serious discussion, you said. Morrow's life tightened as he braced himself. You're afraid. I'm not. I'm afraid. Hamish looked up sharply. Morrow continued. Things have moved so quickly in the last few years. When I first met you, you were in a lonely, miserable place. And I was still trapped in that hell house, still trying to shake off all the hooks my father had in me. Morrow flashed him a soft smile. And now here we are, just a few years after we fell into each other's lives. We're free, but still afraid. I'm not afraid, but you are. I can see it in your eyes. We were both lonely and desperate when we first met. Now we're neither. And every day I look into your eyes and see you bracing for the day I finally leave you for greener pastures. A bittersweet chuckle escaped Morrow's throat. Meanwhile, every day I wake up with you at my side, wondering what I ever did to deserve you. The most patient and caring man in the world. And I'm afraid. How can such a wonderful man ever love a miserable whelp like me, if he isn't desperate and lonely? Morrow. Large hand pressed in a firm case to his hand, his gaze fixed firmly on Hamish with a warm, loving smile. I wanted to talk about us because I needed you to know that I love you. Not because I'm desperate or lonely or afraid, but because you're the man I chose to spend the rest of my life with, if you'll have me. There was a long pause and a quaint sniffle. You are the sappiest, most overdramatic man I've ever met. Is that the guess? Obviously, you big oaf. Morrow smiled softly as he pulled his lover closer in a warm embrace. They held each other for the longest minutes of their lives as they felt the other's heartbeat thumping through their chest. You're still afraid. Yeah. Me too. It's not that. I believe in you. I really do. With all my heart. But you can't just wash away fear with pretty words. I know. I didn't expect it to instantly fix everything within a few pretty words. But there's something else. Cole felt his father's grip around his crystalline form tighten as he lifted upward. What's this? An arcane crystal? What the fuck is going on here? I thought you swore off having anything to do with magic. Well, yeah, but this is different. This is for us. It's a crystal doohickey that I stole from one of my sister's research colleagues. It's supposed to allow any two people to have a child together. Hamish let a sputter of disbelief. A child? Yeah, even us. You just give the crystal a bit of blood from both parents and it'll create a baby from it. But you know, without needing to sit in the oven for like 9 months. Oh god. Are you serious? Maro, you just talked about how quickly we're moving and then you suggest we have a kid? Do you not want to? There was a slight crack in Olorhia's voice. Hamish hesitated. Of course I do. But like this? People start families when they feel ready. I don't want to have a kid just because we're both insecure about ourselves. We can't lean on a little child to fix our own faults. We won't be. Here we are, 2 loving people vowing to share our lives together. And what better way to commemorate than beyond words than having a baby together? Oh, are you hearing yourself? This won't be just about us anymore. We need to raise this kid right, and the 2 of us know fuck all about being good parents. I, for one, think you'd be a wonderful dad. The kid will love you. You'll pass on that massive noggin of yours, and I'll teach him how to become the greatest warrior in the land. Excitement filled Maro's face as he prattled on and on. Good lord, the music. Can you imagine it? The Bonebreaker Guild led by our glorious little family. Mara Bonebreaker and his beloved Hamish with a brilliant kid at our side. People are gonna be talking about us for years. Morrow. I can imagine the horror on my old man's face when he hears his latest favorite child living his best life. Morrow. What do you think our kid would be like? Probably squirrely and quick on her feet like his dad's. We'll probably have the child-proof the entire guild for a few years and keep all the weapons away from the Merrick O'Shaughnessy. What? Oh my god! No! What? Morrow is from the House O'Shaughnessy? Morrow froze. Hamish was quiet as he gently plucked the crystal out of his hands. And cradled it gently in his palms. Is this because your father always said you're a stain on the family? Is that what this is all for? To prove him wrong? What? No! This is for us, Hamish. I want this for us. Morrow's voice rose unconvincingly. This has nothing to do with him. We're better than where we came from, and I know for a fact we'd be great parents. We could be a family. Morrow reached out and cupped Hamish's hands in his own. The younger hand didn't meet his gaze. Morrow swallowed hard. If you think it's too soon, or don't want to do it at all, we don't have to. I just wanted you to know that I'm here to stay. That's all. This is for us. Let's do it. Huh? I agree. Let's do it. Hamish nodded, his voice as firm as he could muster. But there it was again. The fear, staining his tone and lingering in the back of his eyes like a malign parasite. Morrow could see as clear as day and felt his heart bleed with shame. If he were a better man, he would step away at that very moment. Call it off. Take more time to consider. But that traitorous voice in the back of his mind muttered, wouldn't that make it worse? My god, the music. I'm just trying to switch around in here. Wouldn't stepping away feed into Hamish's fear even more? And this was his proclamation of love. His promise to stay. This was for us. And so, in that moment of weakness, Merrick O'Shaughnessy nodded and agreed. Are you fucking telling me that Morrow Bonebreaker previously was named Merrick O'Shaughnessy and he's part of House O'Shaughnessy? So that means, basically, that Cole is, like, not Cole Bonebreaker, but Cole Shaughnessy. And so that would make what would that make Calder then? I don't know what that would make them. That make them siblings or? No wonder Calder had thick thighs. Oh, this is weird. This is fucking weird. Holy shit. Later that afternoon in the bedroom of the Bonebreaker Girl, two hyenas nervously dripped their blood onto the stolen arcane crystal. The crimson mixed together, soaking through the crystalline form as magic. Decades in the making was set into motion. Oh. Huh. In a flash, an arcane radiance flooded the room, blinding the two hyenas as threads of light and flesh wove together around the crystal like a tapestry of life. Cole was suddenly aware. His eyes were still shut, his ears twitching at unfamiliar sounds. His skin felt warmth against the warm blanket beneath him. Soon the light faded. In its place was a tiny... Oh. Cole's first true sensation was his father's warm, trembling hands carefully wrapping around his delicate body and lifting him up. Oh, this is cute! Oh! Oh. Your little eye spot. Yeah, he does. Oh. Cole blinked as small Grogo escaped his gummy. The faces looking back at him broke out into tender laughs. Hamish reached out and gently held Cole's little paw between his fingers. He smiled and cooed quietly as newborn son. Precious little guy, isn't he? Hey, buddy, this is your dad, Morrow. Can you see him? Cole's crying had faded, replaced with soft giggles as he leaned into the warm embrace of his father's hands. Morrow's expression melted into a pillow of wistful joy. Hey there, little fella. Little Cole. I'm your dad. Morrow repeated the words as though not truly believing them. Ha! I'm your dad. His one good eye blinked away tears as he took in the sight of his son. This new life, this untarnished innocence he and his beloved brought into the world, now giggling happily in his hands. His grip tightened around the newborn child as though frightened of letting go. Morrow glanced towards Hamish, who was enraptured by Cole's little hiccups to notice his apprehension. The man who vowed to stay with him for the rest of his days. The man who agreed to raise a child with him, despite everything. A joy in his heart trembled, marred by a disdain of shame and fear. Morrow was an idiot. All the pride and ego that had brought him to this decision twisted inside his gut like an angry knot. What was he thinking, insisting on having a child in such haste despite Hamish's pleadings? Rambling about what he wanted his son to be before he was even born? And pulling on that thread of fear in Hamish's heart to convince him? Morrow could feel his father's hooks tear painfully against his inside and wanted to retch. He glanced up at the smiling face of his son. Fear and realization seeped across every inch of the older hyena's skin like ice. Morrow was going to ruin him. He was going to ruin his son, just like everything else. He bit his cheek and inhaled sharply. No. Falling apart wouldn't help anyone. Now was not the time for regrets. He was a father now. This wasn't just about him anymore. Morrow Bonebreaker shoved his fear aside and stared up at the little bundle of joy in his hands. His face softened into a determined smile. My son. My darling boy. You're gonna grow up to be the happiest little nugget in the world. And I'm going to do everything in my power to become the dad you deserve. This, I promise to you. My little Kalodi Bonebreaker. Oh, that's adorable. Many years had passed since Cole's father spoke that vow. In the years that followed, the Bonebreaker Guild became an official mercenary group. The name Morrow Bonebreaker became known across the land as the greatest warrior in Axia, his heart as big as his axe was sharp. The little bundle of joy in his father's hands quickly grew into a scrawny young hyena. Little Cole inherited his father's toothy, prideful grin and Hamish's sharp, calculating eyes. Every day he was showered in his father's loving embrace and supportive words, and he yearned to one day repay that kindness. Cole quietly made a vow of his own. He would become a son worthy of the great Mar Bonebreaker, if it's the very least he could do. Then came the day where an injured young Cole was ushered to the healer's wing. The day where Cole was told of his decrepit body and how he would never become the warrior he vowed to be. The day where Cole hurled his unbridled rage and frustration upon undeserving Hamish. Oh, there you are. Hamish told me what happened. You doing okay, son? Cole sniffled as he struggled to wipe away the tears soaked across his face. Go away. I'm afraid I can't do that. Not until I know you're okay. Not happening. Didn't you hear? I'm never gonna be okay. Then I guess I'll just stick by your side forever, huh? His father quietly chuckled as he sat down with him on the cold wood floor. So, what's got you so worked up? Don't ask stupid questions. Life is over. You've got a long and prosperous life ahead of you, if I have anything to say about that. Come now. Being a fighter isn't everything. Don't pretend it's nothing. What's everyone going to think when they find out the son of Mara Bonebreaker is a tiny little runt who can't even swing an axe? You think I give a damn about what anyone else thinks? You're still my son, my darling boy. Through the mess of sniffles and tears, Cole suddenly felt his father's hand gently pat him on the head. He felt the warmth through his hair as Mara patted soothing circles into his scalp. He sniffled. The anger in his chest lulled still as he leaned into his father's touch. Mara hummed, his voice low and reassuring. There, lad. Everything is going to be all right. You don't have to be a warrior to please me, Cole, or need to please me at all. I'm just happy to be part of your life. You don't have to lie to make me feel better. Ha! Do I seem like the kind of guy to mince words? No. His father grinned and ruffled his hair playfully. I'm looking forward to meeting the man you'll become, whoever that may be. You're my son. But that doesn't mean you need to be just like me. That's what makes life exciting, don't you think? Cole sniffled. I guess. Nothing makes me prouder than seeing you happy, my boy. As long as you manage to find joy in life, you'll have the happiest dad in the world. I hope you know that. Cole wiped away his tears and sighed in his father's comforting touch. I do. He tried to sound sincere, but the staying fear persisted through the edge of his voice. Fear couldn't be washed away with a few pretty words, after all. But as Cole sat there with his father gently patting his head and whispering comforting words in his ear, he almost believed that everything was indeed all right. Cole let out a sharp exhale as he pulled his consciousness out of the sea of memories. That was enough. This was too much. He could feel the prince's presence at his side, watching everything with horrified intrigue. Bile rose in his throat as he tried to push the mess of emotions out of his mind. You've had your fill. It's time for you to pay your end of the bargain. Cole reached out towards the threads of magic teetering the mind scared and seized. He felt himself tumble forward and he dipped headfirst into another deep, cold sea of memories. Whoa! And, sorry to say, but, whoa. So, I'm sorry to end it at that point. We're going to leave it here, because, holy shit. There are so many things going on. Oh, man. Oh. I am seriously flabbergasted at what's going on right now. So, Cole was made, basically. And so was Cassius. They were both in the same lab, and Cole was stolen. And so, he looks more like... Oh, my God. So, he really is their son, by blood, and all that. And he looks more like Hamish than Merrick. And so, overall, Oh my god. So they're his dads. Yes, they're his true dads. There's no doubt about that. But, god damn it. Seriously? Now we're getting this? Oh my god, what is going on? This all ties into what Agatha was doing. I'm guessing this. Agatha was trying to do these experiments to get a daughter, and 2 results came out of that. And all of the bits that she wanted to try. So the first one was where so Cassius and Cole were experiments basically made by her. And oh my god, there's so much to process over this right now. There's so much shit to process over this because of what lore dump just happened right now. Basically, we all know Agatha wants a daughter, right? So she was an arcane researcher to do research about this and bring this girl into this world. And I'm gonna guess that she made 2 of them, 2 crystals, and was going to try and experiment them to see if she could get with someone else about that and see if it worked. Now, I'm guessing well, Marrow like stole the crystal and it became what we know as this little twink today. And basically, I think the other one was basically made by Roderick for his own purposes, and that's how Cassius came to be also. And that's what I think might be it, why Cassius is there and why he's thinking about that. And oh my god, so much is going on. Oh my god. Oh. I don't know how much of this stuff there is for this chapter. But I have a feeling we're not even done with the story at all. I'm going to say, if there are 8 chapters to this game, oh my god. If there are 8 chapters to this, that would be freaking insane. Like, seriously. That would be fucking nuts. But still, I'm trying to piece together what just happened and what we know so far. And basically, from what I can tell, Agatha is on a quest for revenge against Roderick, and somehow Roderick might have faked his death due to how Cassius sounded, the poor precious being of him. So something is going on here, deeper than we know. And my suspects of who's connected are Roderick, Katrina, and Agatha. These 3 people are somehow connected with this bullshit conspiracy or something that is going on, but Agatha is not going along with Roderick or Katrina about it and all that business. So I'm thinking that it deals with all of them, but I don't know really. So I'm gonna guess that Katrina is in charge of suppressing her, or her and Roderick basically, because they're both close colleagues. So that's my guess about why her stuff was so suppressed, as we saw with Agatha looking into her. And then I'm guessing Agatha is mostly connected to all 3 of these people here in some form somehow, especially with Cole and Artemi. Sid, I don't know. I bet we'll find out more about Sid later in life. I mean, he is adopted, so yeah. Anyway, oh my god, so much shit happened. Ugh. My brain hurts from this lore dump. And my voice kind of hurts. I'm loving this a lot more and all. I seriously am enjoying this. I hope to God I could get the new update, because I heard there's a new update for this, so maybe I'll do the second part after this one and all, but I don't know yet. I'll have to wait and see, because it did say work in progress, but I bet you with the update that it came out already. Let's see here, actually. itch.io. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where, if the update's here or not, actually. Ah, here we go. All right. Sorry, just trying to figure it out here. Hold on. I think I might have already gotten the update for this, actually. The build, I mean. Hold on. For 1 second. I don't get where the fuck. Wait, when did this come out? 18 days ago. Right, I think, yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm being fucking dumb. This is the public one. So, okay. Enough of that nonsense. I'm getting out of this right now. Go. Get out of it! Okay. Boy, I think we're gonna end it here because holy crap, that was a twist I was not expecting, not in the slightest. So things are ramping up, I guess. There's gonna be something going on the next day of a huge attack. Basically, Agatha. Oh god, I'm starting to change my mind about her. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. We're ending it here for right now. I am totally terrible for doing that. But hey, we did Cole's side. Now let's see the side of Cassius, shall we? Poor little nervous bean of mine. I love him. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. And remember, if you want to tune in for more, hit that little heart button that says follow right next to it so you'll be able to stay notified of when I go live for every stream I do, which is 5 days a week. And another thing, it will be a variety of a few things like visual novels, rhythm, and maybe some little multiplayer sport games like Marvel Rivals. Not actual sport games because I don't like them. And also expect some of the stupid shit that I do now and then on here too. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. Oh, and remember, the Dougie Zone has its own podcast. So if you go into the socials on my page, you'll be able to find a link to it called the Zone's Outpost. So hit that link to hit some of our stuff and hopefully entertain. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and until the next one, have a good night and a good day.